Hey guys, welcome back to the Glory Living channel. Today we have a lot to get done. We are going to be filling all of our buckets for this spring coming up and getting our patio ready for planting. We're going to plant some peas today, and we're also going to start some seeds for when it warms up. We've got tons of work to do. We're going to be sorting out our several pounds of dirt here, lots of dirt and compost and sand, and we're going to be mixing it in the trailer. And we're going to get a good combo. That way when we mix it into our buckets, it has a good, light, fluffy, and well-nourished soil for our plants to grow. Okay guys, follow along. Let's check it out. Okay, so we have been working on projects all day, and we are to one of the probably harder projects of the day just because it's going to have a lot of moving of the dirt and lifting. So we are going to mix all our dirt in, and we have at least 25 buckets to fill up for strawberries, and then we're going to start filling up the rest of the buckets, and hopefully we have enough soil for everything. So we are getting ready for spring. We are getting the greenhouse cleared out. We're getting our patio set up. I had to repaint that, and so we're going to get our trees lined up, our fruit trees, get our strawberry planter all filled. And we're also going to be building some type of table or something, bench area for inside the greenhouse for seedlings to go out there so they don't take as much room up in the house. So we're just trying to get all set, doing a little spring cleaning, and right now we are going to get this dirt carried into the trailer, mixed up, and then put into our buckets. Okay, so as you can see, we've got just a different variety of soil and sand and things. So this right here is an organic potting mix, and this is also an organic potting mix. They're just two different kinds. I just wanted to try and mix it up because I remember this being really like just not chunky, just really, really nice potting soil. And so I wanted to get some of that, but it was more expensive than this blue and yellow bag. So I wanted to kind of mix them in. I also got some compost, and I've got sand. I don't have a perfect ratio, but I don't want tons of sand and compost to overwhelm the soil. But I do want some to make sure it has good nutrition. And the sand is not there for nutrition. It's just to aerate the soil, make it not so clumpy and hard, but to give it some looseness so that our roots can easily and freely just grow and our plants can thrive. So we're just putting this tarp kind of in the trailer to help catch the soil and the sand and things so we don't lose anything. Just doing it on the ground, you're going to lose a lot of your product. So we're going to put it on the tarp, mix it in, and try and get everything really evenly distributed so that way it is nice, and so everything's nice and mixed in when we put it into our buckets. So this is the biggest pain part of doing lots of buckets. When I did the blueberries, it was not the most fun thing ever, and I didn't put them in the tarp. I just was scooping out and doing like the same ratios for each bucket. But this time we're going to just do it all in one big huge thing so we can just shovel it into the buckets, and I think that'll make it a lot easier. So we're going to do it. Okay, so we're mixing in at least the first half of the dirt, and we're going to start putting it into the buckets. I'm going to put some coffee filters in the bottom of the buckets. I don't have huge holes drilled in the bottom, but I just don't want the soil to just fall out and to lose a lot of soil through the holes while the rain comes. If this holds in too much water, then I can just poke holes in them in the bottom if need be, you know, and rip through the coffee filter. But this will keep the soil in while also allowing the water to pour out of the buckets. And I just think that can be helpful for not losing soil and being able to retain most of it in the buckets so the rain doesn't wash it away. So we're going to do that, and we're going to fill in our buckets. Well guys, it is a couple days after what you just saw of us doing all that soil mixing, and I had the intentions of showing you the patio before and after and all that. And guys, it wore us out, at least me for sure, so much. John had been battling sickness while he was helping me, and it was just so heavy. Moving all that soil just always knocks it out of me because it's so heavy. So anyways, we've got our patio ready. We only have peas planted because, you know, we still have time before our frost is over. And so I just wanted to kind of show you what we'll be doing and kind of just our little setup right now, kind of just, you know, casually, and it's gonna be, I cannot wait until the plants start growing, guys. It's just gonna be beautiful. But you know, this patio is not ginormous, and yet we are fitting a lot on it. And so I'm just really excited. We have 7 5-gallon buckets that can have more in them. We have our raspberries and our grapes as well, a grape as well. We have 2 raspberries and 1 grape. Actually, one of the raspberries looks like it kind of sent out the shoot that we might be able to take off. We have 7 other 2-gallon buckets here. We have our 7 fruit trees in the 10-gallon buckets, and we actually have 3 additional 10-gallon buckets that we can plant in. And we're gonna do some experimentation with planting cantaloupe in the pots this year, and I'm just really excited. But anyways, we also filled the strawberries, and I'll show you that. So we also are going to plant 25 strawberry plants here very soon, and we made this strawberry trellis to hold up our strawberry buckets, and I'll just show you how we did that here. If you have not checked out the video, it's a good video for some ideas of how to make buckets a little more attractive. Per the advice of actually one of the commenters that we should use middle supports, I'm really thankful that we listened to them because they were right. So this original bar right here was not there. We just got another 2x4 and did that because truly, you know, I was hoping that the evenly distributed weight of the buckets would make it so it wouldn't want to sag, but you know what? It's still conduit, and conduit can bend. Maybe you could use some type of stronger piping across, but we were trying to make it cost effective, so we just used the conduit, and it still works great. But I'm really glad we did the middle supports, and then we attached these triangular parts of the trellis to the rectangular base on the ground, and it's all just really strong and holding up all the soil, which is very, very heavy. So this is a great mixture. I'm really happy with it, and it's a good mix of potting soil, of compost, and sand. I think is really good. If you know, if you want to grow in buckets, do not feel like you're obligated to get all those things. You know, potting soil is going to have some fertilizer, some nutrition already in it. If not fertilizer, some type of nutrition already in the soil, but compost is going to help it along, and sand is not there it's not there for nutrition. It's really there to help aerate the soil and keep it loose. Sand can really be helpful in those ways, but it's only helpful if you're using things like potting soil. Sand mixed with like clay, we have very clay soil on the ground here, that can actually create almost like a cement. It makes it worse. But if you want to make better soil, you don't need sand, but compost is the way to go. So keep that in mind. If you're filling up in buckets, I did a video as well talking about growing in buckets and how to have success with that. They run out of nutrition because they can't suck it more from the ground. A bucket, it only has itself, and once it runs out, there's nowhere else to get the nutrition from. So you have to be more attentive, where in the ground, you have a little more leeway. Not that you don't want to fertilize, not that you don't want to put compost down in the ground, but it's gonna be easier. So I always think that, I just want to say that compost is your friend. I like to put in the sand to help aerate it a little bit. I also had some peat moss left over from when I did my blueberries. That just helps with the soil to make it looser. I like that, and I especially want that for my strawberries so they have a really good loose soil to grow in. Strawberries, as far as I can understand, like a loamy soil. So this is our first year growing strawberries. I'll give you more details on how to plant those in a few weeks when we get them. I think I'm gonna actually order them maybe today, or at least know what I'm ordering today. So anyways, I just want to show you, we just have filled up so many containers. We have 24 of these white buckets, and then on the end here we have these black buckets that I'm going to put some herbs in and grow some herbs on the end and use this extra space here. So we have, I think, a total of 78 buckets that we're growing in. 25 strawberries, the 6 black herbs, 20 blueberries, 7 fruit trees, and all the rest of the buckets that are also on the front patio. We don't have that much room that we're growing in, yet container growing is your best friend if you don't have much room. We are probably doing this, I would say, in less than 150 square feet. I have to do the math exactly so I can give that to you. But really, we don't have that much room yet. With these containers, you can do this so easily. And guys, I mean, listen, this may pan out to be a bad idea doing the fruit trees in these containers for now. I hope that someday soon we'll be able to plant them in the ground. But I wanted them to get started. I wanted to be able, I bought them in a time where we could afford to buy them, and I took advantage of that season of life. And so I'm happy that I did that. Now, could it stunt them? It could. We're going to find out. This is kind of somewhat of an experiment. But regardless, if I didn't have these fruit trees in here, I could still have all this room to grow some pretty big plants in these 10-gallon buckets. You would be surprised how little room you need to actually grow food. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching this video. I am so excited for as we plant these and as spring comes along and you just see the greenery all growing. It's just going to be so gorgeous and I just love it. We already have our peach tree blossoming pink. It's so encouraging. It's just so beautiful to enjoy. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I can't wait to share more of our kind of adventures here and our experiments with you and just to encourage you because we really don't have much space at our rental house to grow. And I just want to encourage others who are in the same season of life that we are that you can do it and you can do it well and you can grow a lot. So thank you guys for tuning in as we move hundreds of pounds of soil and kind of fill these buckets. Just an update on what we're doing. And yeah, guys, I'm hoping that we are going to get a huge bounty in the future from our fruit, but this year from the plants we'll be planting with peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers and cantaloupe all on the front porch. So guys, stay tuned for those videos. They'll be coming up. And enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. It really is the best way to support us in creating this content for you. Thank you guys. Until next time. See you soon.